Hi everyone! Today's video is about curating an exhibition. The theme of this exhibition is World War II uniforms in 1940s Western fashion. All of the garments belong to the Oris Glisson Historic Costume and Textile Collection at Virginia Tech. Firstly, you have to know what's in the collection. An exhibition is only possible if you have the garments to support the theme. I found these uniforms and wanted to do a World War II exhibition. Once you've selected your garments for the exhibition, you have to determine how they're going to be displayed. Some of the questions include, is it going to fit on a dress form? Is the garment durable enough to be displayed on a dress form? Is it going to have to be shown flat? These are all considerations when deciding how to mount garments. For the garments that can be mounted on dress forms, the next step is to pad them out. In this step, we add faux limbs like arms, shoulder pads, hip pads, bust pads, whatever is needed to achieve the silhouette of the time period. Once all the garments have been mounted in some way, shape, or form, it's time to visualize the windows for the exhibition to decide what will be the most visually intriguing way to display them. I started this exhibition by only being able to use 4 windows. The first window was evening wear. This window had 3 gowns, a purple evening gown, a Balenciaga evening gown, and a 1949 wedding dress. What you've been watching me do is put a white sheet down under the wedding dress. The reason I'm doing this is to keep the dress as clean as possible. It also helps preserve the integrity of the dress and the fabric itself. As you can tell, this was a difficult task because the train was super long, but it turned out okay. Here is the first visual look of the evening wear window. The uniform window, which has an Army Red Cross jacket, the Navy uniform jacket, which has been mounted in a shadow box, the Navy cap, an Army battle jacket, an Army M1 helmet, and an Army enlisted service cap. The utility suit window, which features 2 of our utility suits in the collection, also called Victory suits in the United States, and a pair of open-toe sling-back heels. And last but not least, the outerwear window. This window features a Vogue fur-collared coat as well as a pair of brown pumps and a pair of peep-toe heels. I mentioned previously that I started with 4 windows, but in the end I was able to use 6 windows total. With more window space available, I was able to revisualize how I wanted to set up the exhibition. Going back into the collection, I found more garments and accessories that complemented the garments that had already been on display.
You may be able to tell that curating an exhibition is not as linear a process as you would think it would be. Without further ado, these are the finalized windows. The first window is the wedding dress window, which features the 1949 wedding dress from earlier. As you can see, the train is beautiful and very long. This also includes a section label with a lot of details about the history behind the wedding dress. The second window is still the uniform window. It includes all of the uniforms mentioned earlier, but I've added 3 section labels, 1 for each uniform, and an Army garrison cap. Outside of the uniform window is a stand that contains the main event of World War II. With this exhibition, I wanted it to be both costume and content focused in order for the audience to be able to get a full grasp of what they were looking at and the importance of these garments. The last 2 windows on this side are the outerwear windows. I did go back and fix the curtain that fell. This window stayed the same except for the section label that was added, which included emphasis on the Vogue label in the coat. This is technically the 3rd window, however, all of the garments and accessories in this window were added when I got an additional 2 windows to work with. This window has another fur-collared coat as well as a couple of fox stools. The 4th window is the new evening wear window and includes a section label describing what happened with evening wear during this time period. Last but not least is the utility suit window. On the end, it also features a reimagined wartime feed sack dress. Additionally, the 2 section labels talk a little bit more about the Victory suits as well as what the feed sack dress was. On the left is another Victory suit that we found in the collection with a 1930s ostrich leather purse. On the right is a blouse that was worn in a wedding, and she had ended up using her grandmother's wedding skirt since fabrics were in limited supply during the war, a black skirt, and a 1940s black handbag.
And these are the other 3 victory suits that we have. Before we put everything away, we did have to photograph the garments. This was probably the most fun part of the exhibition. Here are some of the pictures that we took of the garments in the studio. The last step is dismounting the garments and putting them back away in the collection. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. If you like the video, please hit like because your feedback allows me to curate more videos that are engaging to you. Thank you again!